Pictures of a world I've never seen, pieces of a life forevermore. Find the lights for me.
It's like a haunting feeling, deep breathing, lights flickering. I'm so scared. You said you'd come for me. Are you a ghost? I would die for you. I will be your ghost. If we run through the night, we can dive into a stranger world till death do us part. I'll be your stranger girl. One kiss, one touch, one night we fight. One kiss, one touch, one night we fight. This is where it all began. I promised myself if you asked me to go that I'd stay right here. I'll stay right here. I will be your ghost. And all the fights we ever had, you said it's over. And all the times we called it quits and had our closure. And all the fights we ever had and said it's over. I stayed right here. Yeah, I stayed right here. You said you'd come for me. Are you a ghost? I would die for you. I will be your ghost. If we run through the night, we can dive into a stranger world till death do us part. I'll be your stranger girl. This is where it all began. I promised myself if you asked me to go that I'd stay right here. I'll stay right here. All the fights we never had and say it's over. I stay right here. I'll stay right here. You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway,
Hey, 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 where do you think you're going? It's so late, late, late. What's wrong? I said I can't stay. Do I have to give a reason? It's just me, it's what I want. So how do we get here? 3 weeks now, we've been so caught up. Better if we do this on our own. Before I love you, na na na, I'm gonna leave you, na na na. Before I'm someone you leave behind, I'll break your heart so you don't break mine. Before I love you, na na na, I'm gonna leave you, na na na. Even if I am not here to stay, I still want your heart.
You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway, You have for takeaway. You have for takeaway,
Fate, fate, fate. Is that what came between us, or did we do this on our own? So how do we get here? I'm asking myself why I'm so caught up. Better if we do this on our own. Before I love you, na na na, I'm gonna leave you, na na na. Before I'm someone you leave behind, I'll break your heart so you don't break mine.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Can y'all hear me? Sorry, my jersey's a little fuzzy. The lighting is a little fucked, and I didn't think this would get caught up in the green screen, but it is what it is. So I'm sorry for the delay, guys. Here, I'm sure you can hear it a little bit in my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we're pushing through. It's not COVID, yeah, just real nasty kind of sore throat, stuffy nose, and just a bunch of bullshit, basically. So a little bit annoyed because it's my birthday weekend. So I'm turning 32. It's my birthday weekend, and I don't feel 100%, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So powering through. I got a big old thing of water with lemon and honey that we're just slamming right now. Yeah, we're gonna power through. I want to get a video for you guys. I know it was a bit of a hectic, Monday with Independence Day, but I was active on Twitter. I was posting a bunch of charts, and luckily, we posted the order block here and this long setup with a target of 22. So we posted this on this first move down here when we came into 19. So even though I wasn't able to get a stream out, we were able to get, the right correct call, and we were able to hopefully make some of you guys some money. I personally was long Solana and some Bitcoin for this move up, so I'm sitting pretty on both of those positions, and I posted both of those on Twitter. So hopefully some of you guys made some money with me. So I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to talk about Ethereum. I will give you guys kind of my thoughts on, where I think they go from here. And we'll just keep it. And I'll take a look at Solana as well. I'll let you guys know why I chose to long that pair specifically. But we'll then talk about what I think might happen next. Are we ready for a breakout here? To higher prices, back up into this price floor perhaps? Or is this just going to deviate and we're going to be range bound, right? That's going to be kind of the key question that we're going to want to have answered here, obviously. So I'll do my best to, kind of let you guys know what I think. And as usual, we'll kind of just go from there. We're still working within this, same Bitcoin range that we've been in for a while, from here to here. Came down to the lower part of the range. Now we're at the upper part of the range. Question is, are we going to break out? You've seen a lot of Adam and Eve bottom tweets, right? Oh, we got the Adam and Eve, or is it Adam and Steve? I don't know what it is. It is 2022, so who really knows? But I'll give you kind of my thoughts on, how does this compare to the bottom back here? We're having some people point out this bottom, being like, well, this was the same thing. This was Adam and Eve. Boom, bull market, right? Are we seeing the same thing? Who fucking knows? So I'll talk about that. But first, we got to give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the stream, Prime XBT. They are the only thing, other than my excellent trading, they're the only thing keeping me eating during this bear market, as you guys know. If you use the link in the description, you sign up, and then you use code Mayne50 and deposit some money on there, I get a kickback. I'm being completely transparent with you. That's how I'm getting compensated by Prime. I get a kickback on deposits. So if you want to support me, you like what I'm sharing on here, it's all for free for you guys. Do me a favor, sign up to Prime, deposit some money using my link and that deposit code. That's the best way you can support me. Obviously, if you don't want to sign up to Prime, I completely understand. But if you want to help me out, you appreciate what I do, that's how you do it. All the info on how to join can be found in the description of this video, or you can go to my website, www.tradermayne.com, for info on how to join Prime and also how to get into my Discord. All right? So with that out of the way, let's get into the charts here. So I'm going to pull up a tweet here, because we got to collect that cloud. What are the things we know about me? We know my neck is thick. We know my arms are big. Okay? And we know I'm a goblin who survives on clout. So that's what we're going to start the stream off with, as usual. It's not even just about the clout. I just want to show you guys the thought process here, right? So we were having this initial sell-off here on Bitcoin, okay? And I drew out this order block here, okay? And I said, please give relief, right? Wanted to see us get a reaction here. This is that same order block here, and as you can see, we got that reaction. So if you've been following along on the streams, we initially longed here, okay? We longed this with a goal of running up to here, right? This was the eventual target, but then when we came up here and we SFP'd, I closed my longs, okay? What I saw then forming, and the reason why I like this order block, is we never retested it. So I'm just going to clean up this chart for a second here. We never retested it, but we did generate some liquidity right above it. So if you notice, this is the down candle that caused this up move, okay? What did we leave here? We left an untouched swing low, right? So once I saw that, and us trade back into this order block, which we had not tagged yet, I said, okay, if we're able to get back above this swing low, I'm pretty confident that this then trades higher and takes out this. Because this is support, this is the obvious draw to the upside, and we've now run anyone who was long on this initial move up, they're now stopped out here. Because think about it from a risk management perspective. If you were longing this, right, where's your stop? It's likely here. Let's assume you long this, okay? Once this moves away, goes up, makes another leg, you probably bring your stop up to here. That would be how I would do it, right? So if I was long from down here, I would have trailed my stop up to here. Or if I long this move, once we start moving away, this becomes your very clear area of invalidation. Because if we go below there, you're wrong. So generally, an area where people get stopped out can oftentimes be a really good entry. I'm sure you've seen that sometimes on Twitter before. People will be like, sometimes the best entries are, you know, where your stop would have gone. This is a good example of that. We came into support, we ran a key swing low, and then we reclaimed. Okay, so that was my logic for getting long in this. We also had an SFP and all the things that we generally want to see trading my system to get bullish happened in this order block. What are the tick boxes? Key level, right? Check. Previous all-time high. Okay, now what are we looking for? An order block. Got that here. Okay, what else are we looking for? A bias. Okay, what is our bias? Well, my bias is we've sold off extremely hard. I'm looking for a relief rally and a potential higher low. So my bias is bullish. Right? Bull. Okay, so you've ticked off those three things. Okay, now what's the next thing? Entry. Right? Risk management. And target. Right? So the actual entry, the setup. Those are the things you want, right? Your trading checklist, right? So I'm looking for relief here. We're at high time frame support. We've got the order block near high time frame support. My bias is I'm looking for longs in here. Now we need to do the entry, setup, take profit. That happens for me on the lower time frame. It can, however, be done on the high time frame. You could have entered this a few ways. Okay? First opportunity here. You have your order block entry. So you're just entering as soon as it tags the order block. Your stop goes below the order block. First target is this high. Okay? Not the best risk reward, but remember, we're on the 12-hour chart here. Okay? Second target, I think probably up here. So that's almost 2R. First target, 1.35. That's just based on the basic order block entry on the 12-hour chart. Personally, I like to refine my entry by either finding a tighter stop on the same time frame, which I'll explain in a second, or going down to a lower time frame so I can get into the nitty-gritty and try and get that invalidation a lot closer, because I don't really want my invalidation to be all the way here, right? The second 12-hour setup that I see here is the SFP. You have a swing low right here. You have a low, a low, a low, a higher low. That is a swing low. We trade below it and then back above. As soon as this candle closes, you now have a valid 12-hour bullish swing failure pattern. Why is this one relevant and maybe the one over here isn't? Context, high time frame support, order block, bias, all those things ticked off mean that when I'm looking for my entry in this area, it has a higher probability of working out. That's what I'm trying to train you guys to learn. You can find SFPs all over the charts. You can find order blocks all over the chart. Pattern recognition is important, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. The other more important piece is context. Where is that pattern forming? If a bullish SFP forms at the range high, is that the proper context, or is the bullish SFP forming in a bullish order block at the range low? Perhaps better context, right? So that's what I mean when you want to go through those things. And then the last thing you're looking for is that entry setup. The entry setup only is relevant if all of these things are dialed in. If I'm looking for bullish entry setups, but I'm at resistance, my high time frame view is bearish, and I'm within a bearish order block, a bullish setup isn't going to do me very much good up there, right? The context doesn't line up. So we have a 12-hour SFP here. So you literally could enter this as soon as that candle closes. Your risk is the low of the SFP. That same target right here, that's a huge fucking trade. Personally, I did not enter based on this SFP. I actually entered on the retest here of this candle. So I entered here. Same stop, below the SFP low, because that's where the idea is wrong. But once we moved away, and I saw that buyers were stepping in. I said, the next pullback, I'm buying. We pulled back right into another order block. And that SFP candle, that raid candle, all in one, boom, it gave you the setup. So that's what this entire setup was based on, just on the 12-hour. Now, can you refine this even more? Absolutely. You could go down to the hourly, and you could say, okay, well, the breaker, right, or the order, the down move here that ran that low, this is that SFP. It's right here. Look what happens when I draw that out. So that's refined even more. Now we've refined it from the 12-hour, where your stop had to be down here, down to the hourly. And now you have your invalidation here below that breaker. I'm not saying you have to enter this here. You could also still have put your stop here, but it's that top-down analysis that I'm showing you. I'm determining my bias and all that bullshit on the high time frame. And then when I'm dialing in and looking for those entry patterns, breakers, swing failure patterns, over-unders, all that shit only is relevant if the high time frame context allows for it. Okay? Sorry, the lighting is pissing me off. It's really pissing me off. I'm going to check the chat in a second, guys. I'm just going to finish my train of thoughts here. So, right? I gave you guys the context. I didn't lay it out black and white like I'm doing right now, but I did if you're paying attention, right? Order block, high time frame level, my bias, relief. I'm looking for a bounce. And I added another piece of confluence in that the S&P was also at an area of support, and we know the correlation between the two has been very strong, right? Next chart, we came in, boom, we got an initial reaction from our area, right? Again, updated it again, marked out the 12-hour SFP. I actually have my setup here. There's the 12-hour SFP, there's the retest, there's the target. So I'm just like, in these videos, it's much easier for me to break things down to like a more granular level of detail, because I'm better at speaking than I am at writing. And I also don't need to share every fucking thing on Twitter. There's only so many characters, right? But everything that I just explained in detail there is all in this thread. There's the key level, right? Target, bias, area we want to do business. And I even marked out the SFP. I marked out the retest. It was all there. Okay, and then finally, obviously, Bitcoin came through, hit the target, right? So hopefully some of you guys followed along with that and made some money, but that's exactly how I got into this trade. So I will take a look at the chat here, but I'm hoping that that's pretty straightforward here. My voice is raw, guys. Talking is painful. But we power through. All right, so let me know if this makes sense, but this is exactly how I got in this trade. We're going to do the same thing with Ethereum, then we'll look at stocks, then we'll look at Solana, and I'm going to end it. All right, let's take a quick look. We're going to start with the Twitch chat because I never do. J-Dog is here. What up, J-Dog? Filthy retro Memphis jersey. I appreciate the compliment, but the Memphis Grizzlies weren't the retro. The Vancouver Grizzlies, okay, my city, that's the original team. Mike Bibby on the back. Those were the boys. But now they're in Memphis because we can't have nice things here in Canada. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it, bro. Nice. Back and buys. I had a heavy leg day today. My trainer had me do birthday squats, so I did 32 reps at the end of my session. So I did I had my, my warm up. I got up to like a working set of 275. So I did 5x5 at 275, just real low, ass to grass. And then after that, we backed off the weight to 135, or no, we backed off the weight to 205. I did 2 sets of 8 with pauses. And then we did 135 for 32 because my trainer is a cunt. Okay. This guy says Mayne is love, Mayne is life. I think that's Shrek, but thank you. Sharif Abdul Rahim, yes sir. Hey Mayne, how do you determine bias? By looking at the chart. That depends on time frame, right? What are you looking for? If I'm looking to be long, I want to see higher highs and higher lows. If I'm looking for if I have a bearish bias, right? Why am I bearish on the macro? What is my weekly bias? It's bearish. We have high, low, lower high, lower low. We can trade way the fuck up here and still make a lower high, right? So my high time frame bias is bearish. You use your eyes, basically, is how you do it. Sorry, I keep checking my phone. Someone's dropping something off, and I just have to be aware. It'll just take 2 seconds, right? But on the 12-hour here, what I was looking at is I said, okay, we're very sold off, right? We had this huge amount of selling. We had a low form, a high form. The trend is still bearish, but basically I was saying, okay, maybe we put in a higher low here. If this is going to potentially change the trend, where would the higher low likely form? Pull out your fib from low to high, boom, right at the OTE. So the bias was looking for the bulls to step in and put in a higher low. However, my bias on the 12-hour chart does not flip to fully bullish until we get a close above here. Once we get a close above here, then we have a low, a high, a higher low, which I was anticipating. I didn't know if it was going to happen. We very easily could have made a lower low, right? But then if we're able to close above here, then we have straight up bullish market structure on the H12. So then what would I be looking for next? Another higher low, right? And then maybe a trade back up into here. Okay? I'm going to do a YouTube video where I go through, like, you guys think I roast you guys in the comments on here? The comments I get on TikTok are unbelievable. Like, if there's a tier of IQ levels for, like, social media platforms, you know, you've got Twitter, obviously, intellectual gentlemen of the highest order, all of us. You've got normie retail YouTube, very low IQ, the BitBoy enjoyers, right? Very low IQ, these people. Brains very smooth, like a fucking bowling ball, okay? You got, like, Facebook, which is like your mom and aunt taking selfies from 2 feet away, and like old dudes making inappropriate comments and just racist, fucking homophobic, fucked up shit. And then below Facebook, right, you have TikTok. Oh my God, TikTok is a cesspool. If a TikTok is a mirror into the future generations, right, and what we have in store, we are absolutely fucked. We are fucked, guys. So fucked. Like, I post shit on TikTok, and like some of the comments I get, I'm like, have you eaten a day? How do you get dressed with that few brain cells? Like, how did you even acquire a phone, download TikTok, connect to the internet, download TikTok, have a phone plan? Like, how do you even have the device that allows you to be on the app to leave such a dumb comment? It's mind-boggling. So I think and I love TikTok. Like, I love going on TikTok, but it's bad. I'm going to do a video where I just roast the TikTok comments. 1 second. I'll be right back, guys.
by the street, screaming justice, song for peace. Friends are lost, I'll never find. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind. I took all of the drugs, but they don't make me high. See the names and the dead, they crown in the sky. I just go to work. If I die, I die. Now for you I'd try. For you I'd try to survive. To survive. To survive. To survive. To survive. To survive. To
Sorry about that, everyone. I am back. I'm going to a music festival tomorrow called Faded in the Park here in Vancouver. And I was just getting a ticket, so had to run down there. But yeah, appreciate you guys waiting. Sorry about that. Let me get, so yeah, anyways, TikTok people, fucking stupid. I'm trying to like get in on the TikTok algo. I think we're almost at 3,000 followers on there. We've had one TikTok go like, you know, get like 60,000 views, but it's bad on there, man. The comments are bad. So I'm going to do a YouTube video where I just roast my TikTok comments. It'll be funny. Chimp Zoo is taking the bull bukkake right now. Chimp Zoo, one of the biggest grifters in the entire space, bar none. I'm not going to say anything else because I'll just say a bunch of shit that'll eventually end up on Twitter and cause a bunch of drama, and I just don't really care. But the proof is in the pudding. Go look at his timeline. The guy's always bullish. Always bullish. Trying to like rub it in the faces of he's trying to rub it in the faces of bulls right now when he's been bull posting literally this entire time. Like, look at this chart. Yeah, this is sweet. And maybe we go crazy. We go up to here or higher. I don't know. He would still be wrong. But it doesn't matter because he's not trading any fucking money anyways. So, fuck him. Nice guy, but sometimes he gets on my nerves. So, I just talk a little shit. I'm ungovernable. Okay? I say what I want when I want. Beauty of fucking being self-employed. How's that young throat doing? Yeah, clearly I was deep throating too much food, trying to get huge at the gym, dry scooping protein powder and creatine. Maybe that was the problem. You know what? For the boys, why not? Why not? I almost forgot. Motherfucker going up crazy. That's the only way. It's always bad. All right. All right. No, I didn't end up taking the antibiotics. I knew it wasn't strep. The Canadian, The Canadian medical system sucks. Everyone's like, oh, you got free healthcare. It must be so nice. It's actually awful. I would much rather pay to play, right? Free healthcare is great for poor people. I'm not poor, right? I don't need the social services. I would rather pay to play, not have to wait in line, get the best service. But for me to get in to just see a doctor right now, like unless you're dying, they're just going to say go to the hospital. But to just go see a doctor, crazy wait times, or they'll just be like, oh, let's just do a phone call. So I'm like, got this crazy sore throat. I'm fucking texting a doctor through this app, sending him pictures of my fucking throat that I took myself, holding a flashlight in one hand and my phone in the other hand, like, And he's like, oh, yeah, it could be strep. I'm like, motherfucker, like, what? So, and that's the problem with doctors. They're instantly going to prescribe you antibiotics, and I have no issue with antibiotics. Like, if you have a bacterial infection, take the fucking antibiotics. It will cure you. But if you don't, you're unnecessarily nuking your fucking body. They completely destroy all the healthy gut flora, and it takes a while for that stuff to build back. You need to be taking probiotics and stuff. They're generally not good to just take antibiotics at the first sign of anything. I was pretty sure I was going to be fine. And it turns out I was. I ended up turning the corner, and yeah. But anyways, let's see here. I mean, how many percent of your trading knowledge did you learn from ICT? I have no idea. I can't really quantify it, but I learned a lot from him. Mayne, have you got a video that explains how to determine bias? I just explained it. If we're making higher highs and higher lows, that's a bull bias. If we're making lower lows and lower highs, that's a bear bias. The bias is relative to time frame. So what you want to know is if I'm bullish based on the hourly or the 12 hour, then my setups that I look for on the 1 hour, I want to see forming with a bullish bias, right? Because the market structure is going to shift on the low time frame first. So I'm looking for the 12 hour to put in a higher low here. So that means on the hourly, down here, I want to see what? Higher highs and higher lows, right? Notice how we have an uptrend here on the hourly, below 20K. We're already in an uptrend. The 12-hour still has not made a higher high. So the low time frame is going to shift first, but you determine your high time frame bias. What are you looking for and why? What is the market structure, right? And then you wait for the low time frame to sync up with the high time frame. That's going to give you the highest probability results, okay? Mayne, how do we know if price is deviated or is it's coming back into the range to make a new higher low? So what I would be looking for, right, is first a close through here. If we get a close through here, that tells me that I think we're probably heading higher, and I'm going to be looking to long a pullback. However, we could close through here, right? It doesn't mean you can't take a short from here down into support. But if we make a higher high above here, like above this, my expectation is probably somewhere into this area, we're going to make a higher low. So I would be looking to get long here. So if you want to short a move back within the range, make sure you're taking some off the table here. However, if this closes as a SFP, I think then this is just a deviation. So that's what I'm watching. But again, at the end of the day, if we close above, my expectation is that the move back is a pullback, right? Not a deviation. But you're not going to know until it happens, right? Trading is about making educated guesses. You don't know for sure. You might say, okay, this is a deviation. You short it, it does this, and then it breaks out. You were just wrong, right? Sometimes that happens. You're not going to always be right. All right. Did you follow Bollinger Band's recipe for bourbon? I did not, but I might try that next time. My throat was so sore, man. I could barely swallow water. It was awful. Are you bearish on socialism? Abso-fucking-lutely. What system has given us the best results and done the most net good for people? It's capitalism. It's not even close. Is it perfect? No, of course not. No, none is perfect, but we know what happens with socialism. We know where that fucking goes, right? Capitalism usually, so far, has been the best net benefit for the world. Technological advancements in healthcare, quality of life, right? Are people still dying? Absolutely. Is there still inequity? Is there still injustices happening and people being taken advantage of? Of course. But we know what happens with socialism already. It's not good. Millions of people die. All right. Let's get back to the chart. Okay, so we're gonna look at Ethereum. Hopefully, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you are clear on the Bitcoin trade. Love you, Vikrant. All right, so Ethereum basically printed. Oh, and I'm gonna show you one more thing here, one more piece of alpha, because I'm the fucking god. I'm the fucking goat. I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT with a sore throat. Shit fucking rhymed. Who's doing it like me? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody knows. Okay. Key level. Okay. Watch this. Watch this. Order block. Key low. So rather than using this for the entry, we're going to use this. We have a key low here that we ran. Okay. This is an over-under play. It's going to be clear on the low time frame too. but you have the order block. So instead of entering based on this shit down here, you say, okay, this is a key low that we ran. If we reclaim this low, I'm going to long. My risk is the move below the low. So the idea is that the move below the low was the deviation. If we get back above, I'm long. So how does that look in terms of a setup? We traded below the level. I'm actually going to delete this because it makes it look busy. We traded below. Candle closed above. You buy the next retest. So we buy the next retest. Okay. Which would have been in this candle. Your stop goes below the deviation. Target here. That would have been another setup that you could have played. That's just based on the 12 hours. So this is effectively just a over-under play, right? The over-under, the low, lower low, higher low, the over-under, the head and shoulders, the fucking whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Whatever you want to call it, the Quasimodo, there's lots of names for it. That's exactly it right there. You have a key low, traded below it, reclaimed it. This is your entry. This is your risk. Target. Boom. So that's another setup that played out, and you can refine this as well on the hourly. You have that key low. Okay. Once we traded back above the key low here, so we went below it. Once we start trading back above here, you can now be looking for bullish setups on any of these pullbacks. Okay. Right? So let's say maybe you wanted to, you said, okay, we're back above here. Maybe you want to long this fractal of the bigger over under, key low, lower low, higher low. Entry here, stop here. Right? Or any of these pullbacks into the order blocks here. All valid. This is a breaker right here. That's not what I wanted. This is a breaker. Why am I looking for these bullish setups now on the hourly? And why are they playing out? Because my context is bullish. My high time frame context is telling me to look for longs down here. SFP. Right? There's tons of setups that are forming here. SFP. Order block. Right? That are playing out. But the reason they're playing out is because my high time frame context is telling me that this is where I want to be looking for longs. But that was one more way that you could have entered this trade. So I think I gave you 3 or 4 separate entries there. Hopefully that fucking makes sense. If it doesn't, you're better off following me on TikTok because your IQ level is just not high enough. It's just not high enough. If we are able to get a bullish breakout above here, right? I honestly think if we're able to hold above, I would argue 22,500, which is this level here. Right here. If we're able to get above here, right? So first thing I want to see is us close above this swing high. But if we start trading above 22,500, my next target legitimately would be here. Right? Because this is very inefficient price action. My next target would be like here. Yeah, probably here. So that would be pretty sweet. So if you're not long yet, what I would wait for is, okay, do we close above here? If so, look to long the dip or just wait for us to get above 22,500. If we start closing above 22,500 on the, the 4 hour, the 12 hour, the daily, I'm long biased to 28. Right? And that's a great move. So let's say you didn't long from here to here. Right? That's a 20% move. You're like, oh, I fucking missed the bottom. But if you're pretty sure that above here to here, we're going to get a 25% move, who cares if you miss that first part? Nail this one. Make all the fucking shekels. Right? Forget about this. This move already happened. You missed it. Right? Where's the next move? It's on to the next trade. Where's the next setup? So that's what I'm watching. Do we close above here? Look to long a dip. Absolutely, if we start closing above 22.5, I'm bullish to like 28. Could we do this? Absolutely. But for now, if we're able to get above here, I'm looking to be bullish up into this price floor. Obviously, if we do something like, you know, a move up here and then completely nuke back below these levels, I'm now bearish. The inverse of this. There's your key level. There's your deviation. Now you're looking to short, right? It's the inverse of this. There's your key level, deviation. Now you're long. Okay, but for now, let's watch how these next couple candle closes. We're coming into the weekend. I don't really know. Oh, sorry, that was gross. Ugh. All right, so Ethereum printed effectively the exact same setup. And again, all my levels, fucking money. The best fucking levels. If I could do a Donald Trump impression and talk about how my levels are so good, I would, but I can't. Effectively the exact same setup here, right? Key low, order block near a key high time frame level, trade below, back above, move up. You also had an opportunity for a retest. Where did price give you a retest? Right at that previous monthly close all-time high level. That's where the all-time high monthly candle closed, not the previous all-time high. Low time frame, there's absolutely a bullish setup forming on that level. We're already in an uptrend. We already got the huge reaction down here. There's your key level. We're bull biased. Here's like a little order block entry. Here's an SFP. Here's another order block. So there's entries that formed around this area, but you're a little late to the game. But I mean, if you longed from here to here, right? If you long this, same thing, right? Key low, lower low, higher low, over under, Quasimodo, whatever the fuck you want to call it, head and shoulders. But why is it relevant? It's just a random setup on the hourly. It's because the high time frame told us that we're bullish down here. And then we got the uptrend. We got confirmation that it wants to go higher, and we have a key SR level here. Where do setups form? At key levels, right? Same thing. You long here, stop here. Target resistance. This is a nice little move. So even if you didn't long the bottom, if you got long from here to here, right, you're probably pretty happy. 10% move plus. So Ethereum, very similar setup. 12-hour didn't give you an SFP, but it gave you the same over-under, right? Low, lower low, higher low. And it did give you some hourly setups. Sorry, my voice is starting to go, guys. Down here, right? SFP, bullish order blocks, all the kind of stuff that we look for. There's your bullish order block, down candle before the up move, retested, never came back, all the way up. All the same setups. Okay, it's getting hot in here. This is not good. I might have to cut this a little short. My throat's fucking getting gnarly here. I'm gonna take one of these. These things are God tier. They will numb the shit out of your throat. They taste awful though. All right. So Ethereum played out exact same as Bitcoin. Pick your poison. Mayne, how do you know to long Ethereum or Bitcoin? There's literally a chart that will tell you. So when you say, okay, on July 3rd, I want to long either Bitcoin or Ethereum based on reasons X, Y, and Z, right? You have your setups forming. Why not go look on July 3rd at what Ethereum BTC is doing? And if on July 3rd, Ethereum BTC looks like this, It's come in, it's had a huge sell-off. It's put in a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, and now it's into a bullish order block and it's moving away. So if you had to long either Bitcoin or Ethereum on July 3rd, and Ethereum BTC looks like this, the one that you're going to want to long is obviously Ethereum because it's outperforming Bitcoin because this chart is in an uptrend, right? So that's how you use these ratios, right? Maybe dry scooping creatine while I'm sick just for the stream was not a good idea. But that's how you use these ratios, and that's how you decide what to do, right? Or which pair is going to give you that asymmetric upside. So I did the same thing with Solana, right? I said, okay, on July 3rd, right here, Solana has been outperforming Bitcoin. So why don't I want to long something that is having a more bullish reaction versus Bitcoin? You can look the same thing versus Ethereum, right? Solana has been outperforming Ethereum for the last month plus, right? So why would I not long this instead of Bitcoin? I ended up longing Bitcoin and Solana, but you want to look at those ratios. So if you had to choose between ETH and BTC, based on how BTC looked, ETH was the obvious play, and that's why it outperformed. Now, stock market, we had the same setup for him here. 12-hour order block, came into it. I still think we might be able to push for that high. I'm not sure. We're into resistance here. So the reason I'm not getting overly excited yet about like we're going to 30K is because look, this could very easily print an SFP here. And if you look on the lower time frame, if we do something like, you know, if we do something like this, right? Like if we do something like this, okay, SZ loves this setup like this, right? He'll have something like this on his page, I guarantee. But if this 12-hour closes how it closes, soon as we start breaking below this consolidation, I think you can start shorting it with your stop here. At least down to like here, right? At least down back towards 20K. So the reason I'm not convinced we're ready to break out yet is because let's see how this candle closes. We're coming up onto the weekend. The stock market is into resistance. Okay, we're into resistance here. Right? From support to resistance. And look at the fucking dollar. A bull market does not happen when the dollar looks like this. Okay, we broke out of a multi-year range to the upside. This is the highest the dollar has been since the year 2002. 20 years. We're making fresh highs. So a bull market does not occur in this environment. It does not mean we can't rally higher, but the macro is not giving us any inclination that it is time yet. Okay? So with the dollar looking like this, stocks still not looking great, right? Like we're in a support, sure, but I still think these aren't bottom. I'm not just inclined to assume the bottom is in. Can we have a bear market rally? Absolutely. But from a macro perspective, still lots to be worried about. Let's see how this 12-hour closes. If this 12-hour closes as an SFP, this 12-hour candle closes in 2 hours. In 2 hours, if this candle closes as an SFP, I'm going to be looking for this kind of setup here. My risk is going to be here, and I'm going to be looking for us to break below this consolidation. If we do that, I'm going to be looking to short a pullback, stop there, target probably down into here. Okay? So we'll see. To me, the easy long trigger, I already caught the long from here to here. So I don't care if we go up here now. Because to me, if we get above 22,500, the upside is massive. I'm okay hedging or looking to short or at least just taking profit on account that we might do this. And I don't want to round trip all of these profits I just made. I'd rather lock in the money. And then if we get bullish above here, I relong. Or if we end up SFPing, I can short. And I've locked in my money and I'm not round tripping, right? So, yeah. That's all I got, guys, here. I'm not feeling amazing. So I'm going to I'm probably gonna end the video here a little bit short. I'm sorry, but yeah, let's just do one more quick scan of the chat. We need some comments for the fucking jokes outro as usual. How do we, as we're still in a bearish market trend, how can we figure out if this or isn't a dead cat bounce? I understand it's all level to level, but on how time frame, how do we see it? Well, it depends on the time frame, right? The 3-day chart would have to make a higher high above here to change the trend. So any move up on the 3-day on the 3-day time frame is a dead cat bounce until it makes a higher high above there. On the 12-hour, to shift the trend, it needs to get above here, right? So the trend is relative to time frame. The weekly, right? Again, way the fuck up here. Arguably, this is the key high on the weekly. We could have a mega bounce all the way up to here and still just put in a lower high on the weekly, right? Go look at 2018. Right? Use what's happened already as an example. Every single person who was on Twitter at the time and was a fucking idiot, except for your boy and a few others, every time we had a bounce, people were calling for a trend change. They said the bottom is in, we're going back to 20K. And what happened every time? OTE, lower high, right? Big bounce right into the OTE, lower high. So you don't know it's a dead cat bounce till it's too fucking late, right? OTE, lower high. And lots of these bounces, right? OTE, lower high. Some of these bounces, 50%, right? Almost 100%. So I don't worry so much about that kind of shit, in my opinion. I think the bottoms take time to form. I don't think the bottom is in personally based on what I just explained about the macro. But, you know, if we're going up, enjoy it. But realize that we could go up a lot higher than here and still put in a macro lower high, right? So just don't get caught up in the hype. Ashwini says inequality is because of power law, Pareto, not because of capitalism. Okay. No, I said I'm the goat with a sore throat. I did not say I'm the throat goat. I did not say that. Mayne, show me your crusty feet. Get help. Get help. Stop it. Come on. What's up, Chase? How you doing, homie? How do you determine order block? Jane, go fuck yourself with that question. Absolutely unbelievable that you would have the gall to even ask me that. My wife's boyfriend says hi again. Hello to your wife's boyfriend, bro. On a scale of 1 to 10, how many miles per gallon does your cat get? I don't have a cat. Is this a joke that I'm missing? I'm a dog person. Fuck cats. If you guys start calling me the throat goat, I'm gonna fucking delete my account. I swear to God. You think we have classic markets or shorter cycles now? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Why is the dollar ripping so hard? Because we're in a risk-off environment right now from a macro perspective, and people are showing that they still believe the US dollar is the safe haven asset.
Advice for someone with a chode that wants a girlfriend. So a chode is when you have a short penis, but it's very round, right? It's girthy, but it's short, like a pop can, right? So what I would do is I would get on Twitter and I would just make your bio big chode cock, won't go deep, but it sure will fuck up the sides, and then just swipe right on everyone and see what happens. I think that should probably work. Or Bitcoin getting back above 60K. Either one of those things. What pants are you wearing? None. Wouldn't you like to know? Love you, brother. Glad you're still in remission. Has your hair grown back yet? You fucking son of a bitch. You fucking son of a bitch. All right, guys. Jane C. So overall, still in the bear market. Is there a mod in the chat? We need to ban Jane. You asked some of the dumbest fucking questions. I don't even know if you're joking, but I've literally aged with how much cortisol I've expended reading the questions that you fucking leave. It's unbelievable, Jane. It's unbelievable. Jesus Christ. Are we in a bear market? I don't know. You tell me. Do you think that this candle, after what's happened here, means we are no longer in a bear market? Jesus fucking Christ, Jane. Jane, you need to follow me on TikTok. That's what you need to do. I think you're going to get along better with my audience on TikTok. You might even be considered smart based on some of the people that comment on my fucking TikTok channels. Stop calling me throat goat. We're not letting this be a thing. We're not letting this become a thing. Why are the market animals? Is this a circus? Yes, this is absolutely a circus. The whole system just collapsed because we had a bunch of billionaires doing handshake deals for 9-figure loans, all incestuously lending customer assets to each other, assets that they didn't have or didn't own or had parked on some stupid yield-bearing protocols, and it all fucking imploded. And all the gigabrains that we thought were gigabrains that were going to lead us on the super cycle to financial freedom turned out to be even more retarded than we are. It's unbelievable. So absolutely, it's a zoo, it's a circus, it's fucking crazy. Love your content, Mayne. Why don't you have at least 100K? I have no idea, Devin. I wake up every morning, I look at the mirror and I say, why don't I have 100K on YouTube yet? Why not? What are we waiting for, guys? Gun to my head, what is the Pico bottom price for F this cycle? I don't know, 670. Pico bottom for Bitcoin, 13,700 to 14,000. Let me give you a range. 6 to 700 F, no, 5 to 700 F, and 13 to 16,000 BTC. That's my guess. But if we go lower than that, I'll just delete the fucking tweet, bro. No one will know. They won't know. All right, you fuckers. I hate you all. And please pray for me to get healthy. Everyone just please pray for fucking Jane. Because, oh my God, she has to find a way to survive another day with literally single-digit brain cells, sub-zero IQ levels. I don't know. I'm worried about her. I'm going to be thinking about her before bed. But yeah, love you guys so much. I'm going to rest my voice here. I got a big birthday weekend. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'll try and do some tweets over the next couple days, but no promises. I'm going to be partying and probably make myself sick again, but you only turn 32 once, and what do you do when you turn 32? You go to a fucking rave, because clearly I haven't grown up yet. All right, so please stop calling me throat goat. If I could have anything for my birthday, stop saying that, please.